Hello and welcome to another episode of What's Inside. Today we're looking at a vintage Mastermind game. I found this at a Goodwill store. Haven't actually opened it yet. I haven't seen one of these in a long time. I found it for $2, as you can tell from the sticker. So I thought, well, it'd be fun to take a little stroll down memory lane. I remember liking this game because it was kind of a challenge, but I was very young when I had it. And this is actually the same version of it that I had. There is a newer one out with much different setup and look. It no longer has this reflection look or the original logo. This was a game winner. It was awarded Game of the Year, I think a couple times. And it has been in several languages. English, French, I believe it was also in Portuguese, Netherlands, Spanish, German, I think Dutch, and a couple others. Italian, whatever. So that's kind of pointless to bring up, but find it interesting. Who made this? This is Design Center London. So it's a British game. Invicta. And as you can see from the box, it's a pretty straightforward, simple looking game. Let's see if most of the parts are here. Alright. That's not part of the game. Alright, looks like most of the pegs are here. A few ones that aren't supposed to be in here. Like here's a battleship peg. That's not supposed to be there. Alright, pieces missing is there's a plastic shield piece that comes up here. It says, I think it says Mastermind on it. The rule book's here. That's kind of the main feature that you're going to need to play. The game is really simple though. Basically, it's just a guessing game. So back here, you're going to set up a series of pegs, and your opponent isn't supposed to be able to see them. And then they have so many guesses to try and get it right. So there's 4 pegs here, there's 4 things here. So if they guess like that, they would get a one color peg for yes, and one color peg for no. So you might know that one of them's right. I think these are even specific, like first, second, third, and fourth. So you might get one of these correct, and then you can narrow it down as you go and try and you only have so many guesses to try and get it right. So it's a simplistic game, but you do need the pieces to be there. At least the majority of them. Hey, look, a button. So these vintage games are kind of hard to find, but this game has been re-released with a sleeker look. It doesn't have the poo brown board anymore. It's now like a bright blue, I think. So, but I prefer this version of it because I think it was a little more sturdy, a little better constructed. But what do you want for $2, right? I am disappointed that the screen is missing, but that's usually the part that will be missing. The pegs are, you could find they use these in other games, because all board game pieces are kind of, interchangeable from this time period. I think this came out in the 70s, I want to say, or early 80s. I don't see a date on the rule sheet. I'll check the back of the box when I put it away here. But yeah, there's not a lot of pieces to it. It's mostly the board, the little pegs, and the bigger pegs. There are 2 color pegs, black and white for the small ones. The large ones you have red, blue, yellow, green, black. I think that's it. Yeah, I think there's 5 colors. Yeah, red, blue, green, white, yellow. Yeah, so 5 or 6 colors, whatever. You get the idea. I can't count today. It's really late when I'm filming this. So that's what's in the box for Mastermind. Like I said, there's not a lot to it. It's pretty straightforward game. It's very simplistic, but these vintage games, that's the pieces you'll want to check for. And you won't need a broken plastic cup, a button, or battleship pieces to play. Those are apparently just bonuses. But I think this one is better constructed than the older ones, or the newer ones rather. These older ones I like a little bit better. But, you know, it's a hard thing to find them complete, or at least with the majority of the parts. Missing that screen, it makes this kind of worthless, because that is a key piece. But, again, with a lot of these, you'll be able to find replacement parts online, so there is that option as well. This is reorder number 3016, in case you need that information. It's basically just a hidden code game. Let's see if I can get it to focus on that. You can see the piece a little better here, what the game board looks like. Let's see if there's a date on here. 1972. The copy I had was from the 80s, so this one's a little bit older. So the game's been around for a long time. It's kind of a classic, but it's a good one to stimulate brain activity for younger kids. I believe the age range, that's really noisy, isn't it? Believe isn't 10 and up. It doesn't say. But it's only for 2 players, so okay, there are 72 pegs total in 6 colors. So you can do the math on that if you want. The key pegs, the smaller ones, they're black and white. There's approximately 30 of those according to the back of the box. So there's a total approximately 30 of the small pegs and 72 of the 6 color pegs. So that'll give you an idea of what you need to expect if you get this. So you get the rule book, the game board, the shield to protect the hidden numbers, and the 72 larger pegs, and the approximately 30 small pegs. It even states approximate number, approximately 30 pegs. So that's what's here. The rules are on the back of the box. Real basic version of them, and they're on the instruction sheet, obviously. So that's the original Mastermind. This is the 1972 version. I assume there's an older one since it says original Mastermind, but it came out probably around that time. This is actually probably a later printing, probably not the 72 version. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. That's what's inside the box of the vintage Mastermind. Be sure to check it out if you get a chance. I thought it was a fun game to play with when I was like 10 or 12. So it's not a complicated game. Anybody can pick it up, and it's something that will help stimulate, you know, logic and reasoning and establishing patterns. So there is that. But that's what's inside, so that's going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching as always, and we hope to see you next time.